I won't be doing any marathons this October, since I have something big to do in November. So this is what I've decided to do in its place, because it might be the last time I choose to do Rankin Bass. Yes, it's seriously called Mad Monster Party? I'm sure it'll make sense after watching, but what exactly is it? Well, this is the third feature film the production company has done back in 1967. It was directed by Jules Bass, without the Rankin this time, and written by Len Koropkin and Harvey Kurtzman, best known for his work on Mad Magazine. He helped create the monsters of the movie with the help of Jack Davis, another Mad contributor. This is only one of a few Rankin Bass productions that center around Halloween, while others being Mad Monsters and Jack-O-Lantern, which was part of their Festival of Family Classics collection. Still, it's nice that I get to do at least one more video with a werewolf in it. Stop that. Now then, let's see what happens when you mix classic monster films with modern comedy horrors. This is Mad Monster Party? We open on the Island of Evil. Oh yeah, since this is a spoof of horror media, we got to have reaction sounds. No, I won't be doing them, because that'll get old. We find ourselves zooming into this tower where we see a mad scientist who looks familiar.
Experimentation capped in one small vial. Now to the final step.
That's right, it's Dr. Baron Boris von Frankenstein. Not only is he voiced by Boris Karloff, but his character is modeled after him. In fact, other monsters we'll be seeing tend to resemble some of their original actors. During this scene of him lifting his vial to get struck by lightning, which is pretty neat, he successfully created a formula of some kind. So naturally, he tests it on a raven, and... Also, you have radiation poisoning now. Good job! Apparently, this is a matter-destroying potion. He was known for creation, but now he's mastered destruction. So, time to send out invites for that monster party?
Oh, what a fine party we'll have when they all arrive. Hey, my boy?
My boy.
I can't even be mad because this isn't just about Frankenstein. We watch these bats scatter around the world to deliver letters to various horror icons who have funny reactions. The credits list off all the monsters who will show up in this film, like the Frankenstein monster, Dracula, the werewolf, the mummy, Jekyll and Hyde, the creature, the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Yeah, for some reason there's been media that depicts him as a literal monster. And here I thought that was just from Hotel Transylvania. Oh, and I didn't know Cousin It was in this movie. Oh, wait, it's referring to something else. But I'm not telling yet. I love how on top of the Invisible Man, the last credit is Boris Karloff. I know he was Frankenstein in the past, but is he really the only one to get a voice credit here? Well, the other monsters are all voiced by Alan Swift, and then the singer for this haunting tune is Ethan Ennis, the first lady of jazz.
Won't you tell me, baby, what happened at that monster party last night?
It's going to be interesting seeing all these horror icons together, but for now, we turn over to our actual main character, Felix Flanken. He's doing this little experiment on his own, but after it backfires, he gets an earful from his boss.
Well, take it out of my pay, Mr. Cronkite.
Pay? Ooh, what pay? You have 2 more months to work for me for nothing before you're even as it is.
I don't know what he did to get into this position, but geez, isn't that a bit excessive? He then gets a letter from Boris, inviting him to his island for his big discovery. He begs his boss to let him take some time off, and it takes some convincing.
Well, that's what happens when I get excited.
Enough. Go. Take a week, a month, a year. But it's not your vacation. It's mine.
Why not just fire him then? Why do you even have him around? Back on Monster Island, we see the Frankenstein monster eyeing someone new we'll meet, only to be interrupted by his bride, voiced by Phyllis Diller.
Forget the last time you had a roving eye. I kept it in a jar for a week.
Ew, I don't like the textures for the mouth and tongue. She then sings a song about him being different?
You're different. I knew it wouldn't be the same, that you'd play a different game, 'cause you're different. You're different. I don't know whether to complain.
I don't know if this is her way to get his attention from that girl, or to tell him why she likes him. Could be both. Moving on, that lady we saw is the doctor's assistant, Francesca, voiced by Gail Garnett. She tells him that most of the monsters have responded to the invites, except for it.
It kept walking around, crushing boars, wild boars in its hands. Very frankly, Francesca, it disgusts even me.
Let this be a clue to what it is. I'm sure it'll be as surprising like it was for me. Francesca reads the reply from Felix and is confused about how little he knows about the island. But Boris explains that his ignorance was intentional, and that Felix is his nephew. He's also looking to retire and wants to pass on his work to said nephew.
I've grown a little tired of this horror business, doing bad for others and very rarely getting any bad in return. And now that I've mastered my greatest discovery, I'd like to retire while I'm on top.
I'll give him 5 minutes before Felix screws up and changes his uncle's mind. Francesca is pretty skeptical about what her boss wants, but for now, let's pan over to the SS Herring. Most of its crew ran off given the passengers they have, so it's just the captain and first mate helping them out. When Quasimodo shows up, the cargo includes the mummy's coffin. Dracula also demonstrates his powers, which gives Felix the chance to get aboard. By the way, is it just me, or does the werewolf sound like a gorilla sometimes? Felix ends up bumping into the werewolf. He's nearsighted without his glasses, so will he be able to find them?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I lost my glasses and can't see a thing.
I've heard that one before.
I guess we're solving that off screen. Now all the monsters are to dine with the captain. He's taking this rather well, but his first mate isn't as composed.
Feet, if you've ever moved, move like you never moved before.
Felix then meets Dr. Jekyll, who then transitions into his Hyde form, but he totally misunderstands the situation.
Hide! You want me to hide? Well, if you want to play games, you must be feeling better. But you certainly don't look it. Okay, I'll hide, and you see if you can find me.
Nothing phases you, now does it? Without them getting close to the island, the monsters begin to get off in their own way. Even the Invisible Man, who decides to swim there? Okay, and funny how I mentioned Hotel Transylvania when Boris has zombies dressed like bellhops, and one of his lackeys, Yetch, is modeled after another iconic horror actor, Peter Lorre. He's still voiced by Alan Swift, like 90% of the characters here, but the voice sounds close enough.
Seen all of our old friends in years. I get so nervous and excited and nervous and...
Yetch seems to have a thing for Francesca, and even though she isn't interested, he doesn't take the hint. At least he has some funny moments.
Quickly, into the air, zombie birdman!
Yeah, I love how creative they get with the monsters in this movie. There's just something about how they combine the unique charm from stop-motion Rankin Bass with the writing. It helps to have a parody cartoonist, but it's still funny to see the monsters come together and interact like this.
Ah, Werewolf, delighted you're here, Weir.
Wolfie, you old dog. This convention is going to be a howling success.
Anyway, everyone starts to mingle. Yetch goes into the kitchen to ask the chef about the menu. What's in the salad?
Arsenic, cyanide, and this one, you get a big bang out of it, and nitroglycerine.
I love how when it comes to horror icons, things that would normally kill a person are like delicacies to them, because they don't die that easily. Later at dinner, Boris shows everyone his latest creation, which can dematerialize pretty much anything. Everyone is interested, including...
I can make the doctor's secrets mine before he bestows them on that Felix Flanken. And I can use Dracula to help me.
It's not often we hear inner monologue in a Rankin Bass production. At least, I don't think that's the case. And apparently, it sounds like a radio broadcast.
Baby, Francesca is up to something with that Dracula. It's her own fault for thinking so loud.
Oh god, I was kidding! Boris also mentions his retirement, and that tomorrow he'll name his successor. It's sounding like it'll lead to something, but for now, Boris will leave us to...
Little Tibia and the Fibia.
There's no mommy. There's no mommy.
I'm guessing they're meant to resemble Dyke and the Blazers, since that's who is singing the song. Anyway, Yetch isn't the only one who has a thing for Francesca, because Dracula is in love with her too. Francesca knows this and tries using Dracula to bump off Felix. He agrees to this in exchange for Boris's secrets. You know what that means? Time to break into song!
It's our time to shine, yeah. Our turn in line. Everybody gets one chance in life.
One chance in life.
Okay, this one's pretty good. Rankin Bass continues to bring in some good singers for their family-friendly features. Anyway, the bride, who goes by the monster's mate, gets caught spying on them. Luckily, the Frankenstein monster, who also goes by Fang, captures Dracula in response.
Just when the tables have turned.
Who said the tables have turned?
That's kind of funny. When Fang brings Dracula down to the dining hall to reveal the plot, it devolves into a food fight, and it's honestly hilarious.
No wonder you're invisible. You're ugly and revolting and disgusting and...
Now we get monsters trying to sleep together, only to be bothered by each other. It's funny, but now it feels like the plot has completely stopped. Felix is still on the ship, so we won't get to see his reactions to any of this. He's gotta be in the story at some point, so why delay it any further? He finally shows up in a rowboat, and Boris and Francesca are there to greet him.
Let me do it myself.
Give me your hand, Felix.
I don't know how I tripped, but...
Oh, Felix, you such a klutz. I do like how they do the ocean effects in this, though. They ride a boat into the castle, get settled in, then we see Dracula converse with Francesca about their plans to kill Felix during their picnic tour. Good thing Felix is the biggest dumbass around, or else he'd get suspicious.
Hey, boy, hey. Oh, there, boy. Oh, nice fella. Yeah. All right, go fetch, boy.
Honestly, he'd be perfect as one half of a comedy duo. And I guess the Mummy is in on this too? Or maybe he just happened to be out here randomly. Most of the attempts to kill Felix come from Dracula, and they all fail in comical fashion.
Really hungry. Why don't we just lie here?
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Count Dracula.
And of course, he won't question this because we fade out the scene. Now we see Felix with Uncle Boris going over planes left by Orville and Wilbur. Von Frankenstein.
Well, do you fly them, Uncle?
Oh, not for years now. Ah, but we did have gay times frightening the cruise ships passing the island.
Look, it was the 1960s. Boris finally pops the news that he's retiring and that he wants Felix to take over for him. Felix isn't so sure about himself, and it doesn't get better when he learns what he could be taking over.
I am the head of the worldwide organization of monsters.
Monsters?
Yes, Felix. What the hell do you think you've been seeing this whole time? Hell, Boris has the freaking Blob as a pet. So how does Boris try convincing Felix to succeed him? With a song sequence.
You gotta stay one step ahead. Stay one step ahead. Tune into what's happening and stay one step ahead.
When they tell you read page 1, read 3 more and you'll find.
See, Felix? Not all the monsters are scary. No need to lose your head. Like Yetch tends to. This gets Felix to at least consider the offer instead of outright rejecting it. Meanwhile, Francesca yells at Dracula for failing, only to learn that he's in cahoots with Fang and the mate. She then gets away and decides to send one last invite to it. Felix has made up his mind. He isn't going to take the job.
Maybe I can talk him out of retiring.
Wah wah. Anyway, the monster's mate realizes they could just follow Francesca through the trap door. Sure enough, she's still in the room, since she really wants that destruction formula once they find her.
The crocodiles in the lagoon should finish our job.
And then Felix pulls her out before the crocodiles get her. So now the monsters have a new target.
Now you've ruined everything, and I hate you, I hate you, I hate you!
Yes, how dare he exist?
I hate to do this. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, Felix.
Oh, you're not mad?
Oh, Felix.
I think you're still hysteric.
Did he just seriously do the Richard Reed slap? Because right after this, she starts falling for him. She even kisses him, and this is quite a 180.
There never was a love like mine for you. Never was a love like mine.
No, she had no feelings for him before this, so don't try to convince me otherwise. Felix tells her that he doesn't want to take over his uncle's job, and Francesca tells him to follow through since the monsters won't listen to him. Now Dracula is rallying the other monsters to hunt down Felix, and even Yetch joins in because of his jealousy. Felix and Francesca try to escape into the creepy island of plant monsters, but they don't get far and she gets captured easily when he gets surrounded by monsters. So how are they gonna get out of this?
You have it!
Have what?
The bad and sacred formula that can destroy matter.
I do? Oh, I do!
How convenient that his medicine is also blue. Also, ready to meet it?
So you recognize this vile, huh? Well, good.
Yep, it's King Kong. I guess he lives in this timeline too. And he also has a crush on Francesca. But then he gets bitten by a crocodile and goes on to attack the castle. Yetch gets flicked away from all this. Good. And Kong takes Francesca for himself.
There's nothing I can do. I can't live without her. I'll kill myself.
No, Felix, wait, don't kill yourself.
Where the hell have you been, old man? Seems like he's going to take matters into his own hands and asks Felix to wait in the boat. I guess he's going to save her, but how?
Put her down. It's me you want.
Oh, that was easy. Francesca gets onto the boat and they start driving away as Boris gets captured and prepares to do something drastic.
Oh, boy.
Well, I think he just killed all the monsters. And now for one last twist.
Haven't you wondered why I was on that island? I'm not a human being like you are. I was created by Frankenstein.
after the monster and his mate. I was his masterpiece.
Oh, well, that does explain some things, but that's not all.
Well, Francesca, none of us are perfect. Are perfect. Are perfect. Are perfect. Are perfect. Are perfect.
What a twist!
So, weird implication aside, this was a very amusing film. While I can't say the story with Felix and Francesca was anything worthwhile, the way they handled all the monsters was hilarious. It's still very much in line with other Rankin Bass productions, and the stop-motion animation shows these moments well. The creepy atmosphere is also appreciated, even in moments that aren't played for laughs. The music by Jules Bass and Maury Law fits neatly with the setting, while a bunch of the songs are enjoyable to listen to. So while this might not be one of the best Rankin Bass films, it had a decent following that's well deserved. Overall, it's a very fun and funny take on classic horror monsters. Stay tuned because we got one more Halloween related video to go over. Just whatever you do, don't light any strange candles. You never know what might happen. Especially that! Well, I suppose it only works under the right conditions. Oh shit.
A